Good evening, Richard. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How about you?
Yeah, doing very well, very well. And well, I consider myself blessed to meet you last time.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, you have this elephant on the background. Any story about it?
That elephant that you're looking at is a war elephant.
Oh,
This campaign is heavily represented by the war elephant. The war elephant was used in ancient times for warfare, of course,
right.
but its main its main ability that they used the war elephant for was to break the line.
Oh, okay, okay.
Break the line, and that's what our elephant stands for. That's what it represents, and that's what I want to represent. God willing, I'm elected to break the ranks, break the lines of the RINOs that are power hungry in our state house. Excuse me. I promise I don't have the new variant. Omicron, Megatron, Voltron, whatever they want to call it. I don't have that. I think I have something like a regular, just
regular code.
Little congestion.
Right. Yeah,
I'll be all right though.
You are all right. I like
Hopefully they don't come kick my door down, forcing me to do take a vaccine or something like that.
Man, well, if you live in China, then that's going to happen.
Well, I've never been to China. I've actually never been out of the country, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
I've heard stories of other countries, and you watch movies and all of that, and you see the news. But the America that I grew up in, we were really free to make our own choices because the people used to be viewed as people that had common sense in the eyes of the government. But I think the government has decreased their thoughts of us. Right. And now I believe that they think that they need to corral us and kind of control our thought process. So it's a different time, different day. I'm only 39, so I haven't been on the earth for a very long time, but I've been on earth for a little while to remember how it used to be.
You are qualified to run for the president, so I'm okay with it.
My wife keeps saying that. Oh, you got to run for president. No, I'm not one of those type of first of all, I'm not a politician, so this is not a stepping stone, become a state rep, then a senator, then this, then that. Then I'm the president of the galaxy, It's nothing like that. So, but yes, you are correct. I believe it's 35.
Right, you are, yeah. So, where were you born?
I was born in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Yep, Gary, Indiana.
Michael Jackson and his brothers.
Yep. That's what I think about. I'm sure any opponents may try to consider that me being, outside the box of elected official. But
okay.
We'll see.
So are you running? What district you are running?
District 41.
Okay. What's 41 cover?
Okay. It covers 3 townships on the east side of Tippecanoe. Then it stretches into Clinton County, 9 townships in Clinton County. Okay. And then it stretches south, but north of Lebanon, in Boone County, and then 1 township in Montgomery, Sugar Creek. So I know there is a lot of gerrymandering. So the way they draw the district is kind of very interesting. It's quite comical to me because I try to put myself on the other side, in the basement room of them concocting all of this, right? And I try to look at it as we have these open seats, hopefully this person runs or that person runs. Oh, hey, hold on a second. Who's this black guy? That's a random guy. Does anyone know him?
Right. Yeah, you are there kind of messed them up.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so
It's been fun. It's been
right.
fun.
And you are running as a Republican, right?
Correct.
Okay, and have you always been a Republican?
I've had conservative views all my life. I'll say that. I've never really put myself, and I try not to, especially with politics or religion, to put myself in a box.
Right.
I'm more of a constitutional individual. I'm more of a right and wrong type of individual.
Right.
I don't oppose the Democratic Party. I don't hate the Democratic Party.
Right.
I do believe that the Democratic Party has, they're much different.
Oh, yeah.
Than I would say mainstream society. I mean, just the way some of the things that they bring up, for instance, you know, boys in the girls' bathroom, girls in the boys, things like that. And I'm not trying to be all political. Now, it's just it's weird.
Right.
I don't see it having any benefit to the country.
No.
And not only that, I believe that there's a standard that all people live by, or should live by anyway. And that standard is what's right and what's wrong.
Right. Yeah.
And there's no bridge in between that. There's a gap in between right and wrong. There's nothing that can mend those two things. And I believe that a lot of the things that the Democratic Party is pushing nowadays, including our progressive Republicans too.
Right. It's true. Yeah.
Especially in Indiana.
Right.
We're a super majority, but we look like Michigan. We should look like Florida.
Right.
So I'm talking to the progressive Republicans as well, right? Yeah. When people ask me, are you Republican or Democrat? I say, you know, I'm a Republican with an asterisk, and that asterisk means I'm a constitutional or conservative Republican.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Because whatever your belief is really conservative beliefs. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I kind of, when you said that about the Democrat, which is quite different from mainstream, just kind of a thought came to my mind is about Ronald Reagan. I mean, who is my hero, and he was Democrat early on, and then he switched to Republican, switched party, and his famous saying is that I didn't leave the Democrat Party. It's a party which left me.
Yeah, they left me.
Which is, I mean, if you consider what we have now versus the Democrat of Kennedy, that's quite a light day difference.
Oh yes, most definitely. And I don't like when people say the Democratic Party flipped. It used to be Republicans and that flipped to Democrat. I don't appeal to that theory. I don't buy into that theory. There used to be even going back even further than JFK, the Democratic Party was totally different.
Right.
But something's changed in the Democratic Party. Obviously, I tell people this all the time. I've been Black my whole life. I ain't never took a day off. So I was actually raised to be a Democrat. You know what I mean? So
right.
On that Democratic plantation, that's what I like to call it. I've always called it that way. And then I heard Candace Owens say it. I'm like, man, she got that from me. But going back to your original question, I was raised to be a Democrat. When I was 18, a lot of people don't know this, so now you're about to know it, and everyone that you show is going to know this.
Secret.
When I turned 18, the very first person I voted for was a Democrat. True story. Yeah. But I went into the polls blind, like most youngsters, who's been influenced, one way. And that's the only way, because the Republicans are racist. You gotta You know, they're all racist and all that stuff. So you believe that, and then you start to grow a brain. You start to look around. You start to have your own observations.
Right.
Start to critically think, right, for yourself as you grow up. And then you realize, and that's what happened with me. I started to realize that, first of all, every city that's primarily ran by Democrats, including the county, okay, is a really bad area.
Right. Yeah.
You know, Black neighborhoods in these democratically ran communities.
Yeah.
My chances of survival is very slim.
Right.
It's dangerous.
It is.
So yes, I was born in Gary. I just wanted to kind of go back a little bit to kind of give you a little more background or context about my nature, my existence, right? So I was born in Gary, which Gary was really bad, democratically ran for years. And my mom, she had enough sense to move us out. And she actually moved us to Oklahoma when I was 6 years old. Oh, I would go back during the summer, visit my grandmother and all of that, you know what I mean?
Wow.
But I lived in Oklahoma in a really itty bitty small town.
Okay.
There was a time when my mom and they all wanted to move back, but I played football. So I ended up living with my best friend and his family. And they had a cattle farm. So I was a cowboy.
Wow.
You know, I rode horses in the town. I roped broncs. I showed Herefords and FFA. I was a future farmer of America. So I got to experience that side of life. And I think really when I was experiencing that side of life, I started to see things that I didn't ordinarily see growing up in the city.
Right. Yep.
And I started to get definition and depth to my spirit.
Right, exactly.
To my nature, you know, and adding accolades to me and improving myself based on that peaceful country living, you know. And so that's why I like to tell people I really was raised on a farm. You know, they were raising me up.
Right.
And
that's where you have to learn, I mean, self-reliance and
hard work,
learn survival, I mean, all that. So really, I think that's good for anyone who is growing up.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. My wife and I, we're trying to get our kids on a farm as well.
Okay.
We live in a rural area though of Tippecanoe County. We actually live in the middle of the woods.
Wow.
On top of a ravine with the Wildcat Creek that wraps our property. So we're kind of isolated. And so all the snow we've been getting, we're kind of been bunkered up here, you know?
Yeah. So
it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, I did some volunteering work in Indianapolis, inner city. And that's what I saw. People, there are so much handout there. So people used to like just to counting on, you know, either the government or some nonprofit for their thing. So there's not much incentive for them to go out and to make a living, which is not good for them. No. You know, I equate it to a wildlife reserve, right? And this is for any people. And I'm not saying people are animals by no means, you know, just no, I understand.
Twisted. I know you understand, but
well, but and also
go ahead.
Right, and also this is not a race issue, because if you look at inner city Indianapolis, especially on the south side and east, there are many white. And there are many Hispanic. That's right. But they will attach race to that. Right. They will to divide us. Okay. Right. But going back, so I equate that to. And I'm not against the welfare system. My mom was on welfare, you know, we was on welfare growing up. We had a different kind of welfare in Oklahoma. You actually had to, it was maybe the 15th of the month, a semi truck would come to the baseball fields. We didn't even have a street light or a stoplight in the town. It's a really itty bitty town, but it's almost like a FEMA truck would come
and we'd all pile, everyone in the town would go to the baseball fields, and it'd be a long line of people we'd have our laundry baskets, and
Okay.
we when you get to the truck, they'll just put these commodities, right?
Gotcha.
That's where you get the government cheese and all of that. It was a little different, they filled your basket up and you went back to the car, and that was your welfare.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when I was growing up, in Oklahoma now, but I equate what they're doing with these programs to a nature preserve, where in a nature preserve, the first thing you see are signs that says, don't feed the animals. Right. And they actually explain why you shouldn't feed the animals. Right. Because you take away their natural ability to survive. Right. And if you do that, then they will depend on you. Yeah. We have a lake called Raccoon Lake out here, close to out in Crawfordsville. And you'd be amazed at how many raccoons are out there, and they're human-like. They know how to open your doors to your car. They know how to open coolers. I mean, because they've been depending on humans for so long, right? Okay. They lost their ability to survive on their own. And now, looking at it from a human standpoint, being in a community that they push and push and push welfare programs after welfare programs, you lose your ability, not as a human, not only to survive, but you lose sight of who you are, right, and the driving mechanism that you're supposed to possess, and your ambition, your goals. Right. You don't really have a passion for things. Right. You're growing up in generation after generation of 100% recipients of welfare. Yeah. And a lot of people can't relate to that, especially how to break free of that. Right. Because they got so used to it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And also the system, in a way, well, I'm not saying that's intentional, but at least it looks like it was designed to keep people in welfare. Because it definitely looks that way. Like, say if you go out and go work, right? Once you're making enough money, then everything just cut off. Then you are getting worse. So right. So that's, people will just go back and instead of like work and just say, okay, I'm just on the welfare. Because otherwise there is a, how do you say that? There looks like there is a some kind of wall you have to climb over in order to become financially independent. Right. But we're not being taught that piece in school. True. See, we're not taught economics in school. Not at the level that it should be taught. What they want to teach, and what they want to teach is social constructs such as CRT, critical race theory, SEL, 1619 project, things of that nature that takes away that survival mechanism. Whereas now you are a victim, and homing it in that you have to possess a victim mentality. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to possess a victim mentality. Now, I won't say they did it on purpose, but what I will say is I equate that to a scam, right? Like a scammer, okay? Yeah. Not saying they're scamming anybody. Right. I'm just saying if the effect, right? The effect is. Well, I'm looking at it like this. If I call you and I say, Dr. Ping, I'm a salesman. I want to sell you a Rolls Royce for $300. Okay. How you gonna respond to that? Well, I look at your Rolls Royce and see if it's worth it. If it's worth it, I'll buy it. But I need your debit card information first. I need your birth date, your social security number. I need who you worked for, what kind of income everybody has in the whole house. I need all of that before I can give up this Rolls Royce. No. You don't want the Rolls Royce now?
No.
But I'm giving you a Rolls Royce. Won't you vote for me? If I gave you a Rolls Royce, won't you vote for me?
Right.
But again, I'm not saying they're scamming, but my red flags always goes up when I see things like that.
Yeah.
The quid pro quo, I'll do this for you, but you have to do this for me.
Right.
It's not out of the kindness of your heart. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But even still, if the welfare programs, they are needed though.
Right.
Okay. It's not something that you should take away.
Right.
But it is something that we should look to regulate a little more.
Right.
I'm actually for drug testing recipients.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm also for the nuclear family as well involved.
Yeah.
So that means the father of the child.
Right.
If the father of the child is in the child's life, who are we to say that they can't live at a housing, a HUD apartment?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Who are we as the government to say that, hey, you and your child can live there, but the father can't?
Oh, I didn't know that. So that's how it works.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's how that system works. They're breaking the family up. They're breaking the family apart. So then when you look at the Black community, right, you say, well, in the lower income neighborhoods, they're fatherless children. Mm. Well, there's a reason why they're fatherless children, because that democratic agenda of pushing those programs regulates who stays in the house.
Oh, wow.
So who stays in the house? So you got mothers that the baby's father is in the child's life, but they got to stay either somewhere else, or they got to hide or not. Wow. When the maintenance man comes, he has to go, act like he's somewhere else or just visiting.
Wow.
And there's a lot that goes on. How do I know this? Because I can relate. I'm not a cookie cutter type person. I've been in those neighborhoods. I lived in those neighborhoods. That's why I can speak on the welfare program. Right. Exactly. A lot of these jokers can't even speak on the welfare program. Why? No. Because they're not a part of what we do.
No, yeah.
The people, the struggles that we the people have on a daily basis. You look at a lot of these people, they've never even held a job.
Right.
They're not even blue collar workers. Mm-hmm. They're just out to make a name for themselves, get a little power, find a lobbyist or a corporate interest, sell the power,
right,
and still act the part in public.
Yeah.
We're looking for real solutions. When I say we, I mean we the people.
Right.
God willing, I win, then I'll be a part of the system that can find these solutions. Not just talk about it, but be about it. Why? Because only the people who are affected by the issues can find a solution.
Right. Well, for the primary, do you have who is your challenger?
I won't mention their names.
Okay.
But I do have two opponents.
Okay.
They are my challengers. Okay. If you will, because I've been doing this thing since October, late November, October, with no challenger, no nothing, and an elected official, we'll just call him that, had got into it with me because I didn't line up with what he wanted me to line up with, and I wasn't going to eat the king's meat, if you will, and then all of a sudden,
you got challengers.
Two challengers.
Yeah. So well, that's how they play the game.
That's how they play it. But we're still in it to win it.
Yeah.
We've had some delays. I'll say delays. For instance, they haven't provided me the voter file yet.
Oh.
Even though it's an open seat, I don't have access to the I-360.
Oh.
Guess who controls that? Of course.
Right. Yeah.
The establishment.
Yeah.
But you know what? My whole life has been a fight.
Mm-hmm.
An uphill battle.
Right.
I was born in a fight.
Right.
Right. My mother was a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
My father was married to another woman, had another family.
Okay.
So that tells you this is what that means.
Right.
I was born not to make it.
Right.
But I did.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of fight that I'm bringing to the table.
Right.
Against all odds.
Exactly.
We are going to fight this fight.
Right. Right.
No matter what they want to give to me, whether they want to support me or not want to support me, they meaning the establishment. We are the underdogs. We are the minority. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think you are a part of the majority, right?
I am. I am.
It's just like in the past, we kind of didn't pay attention.
That's true.
So anyone comes to say, "Oh, I'm a Republican." Okay, I'll vote for you.
You got an R by your name. We're going to
right.
vote for you.
Yeah,
Straight
we never
ticket.
really. I mean, that's kind of. I am guilty with that too, because I haven't really paid attention.
Me too.
Until last year, and to realize that, oh, those people who say they are conservatives, but they don't vote like a conservative. So what's going on? And that's where we realized that actually most Indiana Republican representatives and senators, most of them actually are just RINOs.
Yeah, they're progressives. You know, I'll refer to them as progressives.
Okay.
No, I'll refer to them as RINOs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So your district, is that controlled by Republicans?
The county is yes. Oh yeah, by I'm sorry,
Your district.
Yes, yeah. It is super red.
Okay.
We are a red district.
Okay, so once you won the primary, then you're pretty much guaranteed.
I do have, well, after the primary, there is a Democratic challenger.
Right.
There is a challenger that's on the ballot right now.
Right.
But going off of what we've seen in the past, yes. Mm-hmm. Whoever wins the primary wins the ticket.
Right. So that's the biggest fight you have to fight.
Yeah. It is. The deck is definitely stacked against me. But here's the problem, that the people who pull the lever, okay, this is what they face. If, God willing, I am elected as the primary ticket holder,
right?
What are they gonna do? What's the establishment gonna do then? They'll have to work with me.
Right. Well, it's kind of like you know John Jacob. He's we were friends for many years before he decided to run. So he basically once he won the primary, so the establishment couldn't really do much. And of course, they redraw his district. Now he's going to face a much harder battle than before. So he lost a lot of red, the Republican areas. So he's going to have a big fight.
I guess what I was saying though is they're going to have to support me then.
Right.
And it's going to be an awkward relationship for them, not for me.
You'll be. Yeah, I mean, you look at what's happening right now. It's really just John Jacob and
Kurt Nicely.
Yeah, those two there. So hopefully you'll join them, so you'll get more.
And that's my. I'm not doing this to be famous. I'm not doing this for glory.
Right.
I heard that there was 2 patriots that were fighting a fight by themselves. I've been a part of a Tea Party here in Lafayette, Citizens in Action.
Oh, wow.
Grassroots Tea Party with Mike Morris. I've been a part of them for a few years now. Okay. And, you always have, you always say what you say in the meetings. Everyone has something to say, something to complain about, things that we're going to look for as far as the up and coming sessions goes.
Right.
Bills, Senate bills, House bills,
Right.
now mandates.
Yeah.
But something sparks inside of a man, I think, when, especially a person like me, I don't see those two men fighting a fight by themselves. I see those two men being bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like bullies.
Right.
I've always had an issue with bullies. And that's how I looked at it. I looked at it as they are bullying them.
Right.
And as I used to say to bullies when I was in school,
Mm-hmm.
now you have someone big enough that you can try to bully.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not going to go your way. And I'm not talking anything violent, but I'm saying that if we have more John Jacobs and Kurt Knisleys in the house, they can't bully all of us.
Right. Exactly.
Because eventually the minority will become the majority.
Right.
So, phone keeps ringing. But yeah, so that's the fight, you know. That's the passion, that's the fire. I believe that there are people that are in this race for publicity, or because they're opportunists. And it's an open seat, so they're wanting to just grab it and go, see what happens. There's people that's I believe that are forcing them to oppose me.
Right.
I know that two of them had a meeting with each other. I call it colluding.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. you know.
It's so hilarious because, you know, I'm just a construction worker, man. I'm not a politician. I'm not I don't have this eloquent speech, and I don't study 5 days on a speech that someone else gave me. I don't do all that. You know, I don't know how to do any of that. You know, so they got me beat. When it comes to a politician, if the people want a politician, they probably shouldn't vote for me. Now, if they want a statesman, a man who has the heart for the people, why? Because I came from the people.
Right. Yep.
Then they probably should vote for me.
Yep. Definitely.
Because I'm just constitutional. I'm just constitutionally radical.
Right.
To make things happen. Now, on that point of making things happen, what I mean by that, you know, is yes, I do want to get things passed. You know, there's some bills that, you know, that I'm working on myself, but they're not my priority. My priority is to kill a lot of this dumb stuff that these RINOs and these Democrats are trying to pass. So my mission, when I get there, is to terminate bills.
Right.
That shouldn't be there.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
That should not be there. Vote against wrong bills.
Right. Yeah. So I see the background. You have this T-shirt made. You have
oh yeah,
rifle. I like it. Second. Yeah.
I second that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me more about what you are running for. I mean, when you get elected, what you are going to make happen? What kind of bills that you will author?
So I would like, and what I'm working on and what I want to send a message to the people. If I was to, if I had all the voters in front of me,
right,
without obviously being an elected official, you should always consult with your constituents. Just as passionate as you were when you were campaigning, knocking on everyone's doors, when you have an idea of a bill, something that you believe that will benefit everyone,
Mm-hmm.
You should consult with your constituents. So that would be the first thing that I would do.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing I say from this point on is not anything set in stone, because like I said, I don't have all the voters in front of me.
Right.
But if I did have all the voters in front of me, I would say something like, hey, what do you guys think about a bill that bans schools from practicing medical procedures
Mm-hmm.
without the parents' written consent?
Right.
What do you guys think about that?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good bill.
Right.
Right? Because you're not a medical facility.
No.
So you should not be allowed. I don't care if you have a nurse on site. I don't care about anything like that. You should not be allowed, first of all, without my consent, to poke, prod, anything my child.
Mm-hmm.
If my child's stomach hurts, guess what? You need to call me.
Exactly.
Let me know before you even put a Tylenol in their hand.
Right.
Because you're not a medical facility. It's just as simple as that.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps them honest.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to ask sheriffs, which I asked the sheriff this, is what would you do if we found out the schools were vaccinating our children without our consent? What would you do?
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be one of my first bills I would consult the constituents on.
Okay.
Is a bill that bans schools from practicing any form of medical procedures.
Mm-hmm. How about the pornographic materials in schools? Do you see that in your district?
I haven't personally seen that in my district. Now, I have heard about it from people in my district, parents in my district, as a matter of fact. Just going to the school board meetings, but I have not physically seen it. Now, if the parents are telling me that's what their child had, or that's what they seen at the library, then I'm inclined to definitely believe them.
Right.
I don't see them having any reason to lie. And not only that, once again, I come from the people. My children used to go to public schools. Now they don't. We pulled them out. We homeschool our kids. So I was the parent that had my kids exempt from things in school. When the science teacher started talking about the theory of evolution being a hard fact.
Oh no. Okay.
They're exempt from the theory of evolution. It's just that simple.
Right.
I was that parent.
Okay.
I'm writing a science teacher, and I want him to explain to me why the theory of evolution and the theory of the Oort cloud is not a piece of religion rather than science. Explain that one to me.
Right.
And that's why my children is exempt from your class.
Okay.
Right?
How many children you have?
I have 8.
You have, wow.
Yeah, 3 adults, 2 grandchildren, 5 little ones, 4 in school.
That keep you busy.
Yeah.
Surprise them.
It gets me doing things like this, running and securing their future.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to recognize the country that I grew up in.
Right. So are all your children now in homeschool? Of course.
Yeah. So 5 of them are under the age of 13.
Right.
4 of them are school age, and the youngest one is 3. So.
Okay. So are you part of the homeschool co-op, or just you do that on your own?
So my wife and I, we do it on our own. We didn't even really know about co-ops and all that until recently. I know that she will be reaching out to co-ops in the future, but no, we have not been a part of a co-op. We did subscribe to a Christian curriculum for the children, and we've been successful. We're actually looking into putting them in private school now.
Oh, okay. And when did you move back to Indiana?
I think I was probably 16, 15.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I went to school here at Jeff in Lafayette.
Oh, so you graduated from there?
Graduated from school from Jeff. And then I went to college, got an associate's degree at Ivy Tech Community College. Went through the local 215 Carpenter's Apprenticeship Program.
Oh, okay.
Graduated that, became a journeyman.
Uh-huh.
Then I became a superintendent for the company I was working for. Now I'm a construction managing superintendent. So
Oh, wonderful.
professionally.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Very good credential. So when you graduate from high school, what's your experience back then?
I was just a knucklehead kid. Got in trouble in school. I actually didn't even make it to graduation. They, believe it or not, they kicked me out of school.
Really?
Yep. So I got in a fight in school.
Oh,
Believe
okay.
it or not. And I'm not afraid to share that. Yeah, I was a knucklehead kid. But you know, I was a junior, and my brother, they found him unconscious, and a kid in my grade bullied him and beat him up, and left him behind a elderly lady's bush for 6 hours. We found him. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. We found him. And, you know, very emotional time.
Right.
And so him and I, we got into an altercation in school because, you know, I just wanted to find out what was going, you know, what happened. You know, why. And one thing led to another. We both got kicked out of school. And even the police officer that was there, the security guy, his police officer, he even said, you know, what do you do? Not advocating violence in any kind of way, shape, or form, but that is what happened. And anyway, so a week later, I ended up getting my GED.
Oh, okay.
And then a week after that, they wanted me to come back to school.
Oh, really? And you didn't go back?
I didn't. I wish I did, but I didn't. I was already working, and you know, I ended up getting my GED.
All right.
And so at that time, it was good enough for me. I ended up signing up for the Army. My brother and I. My brother went on and went to Afghanistan. I actually decided not to go because the recruiter lied to me, and I didn't want to sign up for something when they're already lying to me.
Right.
But again, that's one of those things that I look back and I should have went anyway, you know. But
well, you never know.
But right? I was a man of principles, you know.
Right.
You lied to me, and you know. But
right, I wouldn't go if I find out the recruiter was lying to me.
That's how I felt, you know, like, man. Right. And I told him that. I said, you know, I was gung ho. I'm the one that wanted to. I came to you. You didn't come to me. I came to you.
Right.
And you know, I was gung ho, and you didn't even have to say much anything to me.
Right. Why should you?
I was ready to sign up, but you started talking and carrying on, and then I looked it up when I got home because I was excited, you know. Come to find out that 90% of everything he said was a lie. And I went back the next day and said, you know, take me off. I was already signed up for boot camp and everything. Oh, wow. Did the ASVAB and all that. So.
Right. Yeah. Wow. So you got a GED and then you work. Then you go to Ivy Tech, right? Is that how it?
Yep. Went to Ivy Tech.
Yeah. So that's 2 years.
Yeah. But I got into the union though. Okay. I got into the union when I was 28. So that I got into the union and was in Ivy Tech at the same time.
Okay.
Yep. So I didn't go to college. I tried college right out of high school and it just didn't work out for me.
Right. And you start working then you went back there.
Yep. And I'll put it to you this way, and not to go into too much detail. I was a knucklehead kid, you know. I should have went to the Army, but I didn't. To say the least, I was enough. I finally grew up, you know, when I was about 27, 28, I grew up, and my wife and I, we got married. We had 5 children, 5 more children. And so started our family and been happy ever since.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. So like in your district, you lived there for how many years?
In my district, I'm gonna say since 2014.
2014. So now it's 2020. It's about 8 years now. And do you see anything, any change
in my district?
Yeah.
Not really. We kind of stayed on the outside too.
Okay.
Of the district, and it was a different district too.
Oh, okay.
You know, since the redistricting, it's been a different district. But as far as change goes, it's really been the same old, you know, the same old thing, same old bureaucracy.
Right.
The only thing that's really changed is just the way we view each other. This, like I said, the social constructs. I think there's been a lot of anxiety when you go to the grocery stores.
Oh, really?
A lot of, oh yeah. Just people just not knowing what's gonna happen on a day-to-day basis anymore. Unsurety,
right?
Fear,
right?
You know.
What do you see the impact of the inflation in your district?
Of course. Of course. I mean, you got gas that's almost $4 a gallon.
Right.
You got food that, you know, we used to spend $300-400 on food and get at least a basket full. Now you barely can line the bottom.
Yeah.
Basket, you know. It's food shortages. Gas shortages.
Yeah. It's bad. Yeah.
It is. I think with the right people, and it may not be me, but with the right people in office, I think we can right the shit.
Right.
I don't know everything, but I do have enough common sense to talk to someone who knows about particular things, you know.
Yeah. And also you have the right heart. You want to help
definitely.
I mean, that's the thing. And yeah, I have seen politicians, they make promise, but once they got there, they just really just looking after their own interests. It's very hard to, like like my districts, I have like Congress, you know, you got the House of Representatives, you got the senators, you got on the federal level, and on the state level. I couldn't even find anyone to talk to. I mean, you send the email to them, they just came back with, you know, the generic reply.
And, they're ghosts.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
okay. There's nothing.
But you know something, Doc?
Yeah.
They wouldn't know how to talk to you anyway.
That's true. But yeah.
There's no authenticity.
No.
You know, there's no genuineness. It's a fake. Listen to this. It's a fake humility. That's what they practice. Fake humility.
It is. Yeah.
You know, they don't know how to, as we say, keep it real. If you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
If you don't want to talk to me, say you don't want to talk to me.
Right.
You know, that's why I laugh at the things that they try to pull with me in my campaign. You know, we had a campaign kickoff and only one elected official showed up.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't show up for the whole, you know, for the speech and everything, because he had other things he had to do. But I respected the man for that. You know what I'm saying? But my challenger, he has a whole bunch of elected officials.
Yeah, well, he's part of the.
He's a part of the country club. Then not only that, he didn't even have the kickoff in the district.
Oh, wow.
So what constituents was he talking to at his kickoff? He didn't even have voters there.
No. Well, it's
but these are the things that we have been facing for years.
It is true. Yeah.
People that are out of touch with the voters and the voters' reality.
Right. Well, in the past, I think they just don't care, because
of course not. They're going to join a country club. They are trying to be elected to join the country club.
Right.
That's it. They want to wear the knickers and the golf shoes and, you know, they want to do all that.
Right.
Me, I got a couple bills that I want to, according, you know, like I said, I want to consult with the constituents and see what they think about them. And then I'm going straight to legislative services. Hey, can you formulate this for me? Can you put it together? I'm going to, and then I'm going to pick out all the bills that I'm going to vote against, that I'm going to try to kill, that doesn't serve the people whatsoever. I'm going to work. You know, when you get to my job site, they call my job site the Lion's Den, because when you get there, it's work time. We ain't got time to chit chat. We ain't got time to sign no, oh, hey, I made it. I did it. Check that box off, you know. I finally made it to the big house, to the big leagues. You know, we ain't got time for all that. You know, we have a customer deadline, and we have to meet these milestones. That's all I know. That's all I'm programmed to know. The constituents, this is what they want.
Exactly.
How do we get it to them, and what time frame? Because I don't want to go back to my constituents after I've done shook their hands, knocked on their doors, took their money, and then I come back and say, well, this is the best deal I can get you. I'm sorry, that's the best deal they're gonna let me get.
Right.
That's called coming back with an egg in your face.
Yeah.
And that's what they do, but they're used to doing that now.
Well, because we let them get away with it. I think this year, I think this year is different. This year, a lot of voters are just mad. It's not just not happy, they're mad. So you're going to see a lot of RINOs will be kicked out.
Now, and I'm gonna tell you this, they're done with the one-liners. Oh, I'm pro-gun, I'm pro-abortion, or pro-life, I'm sorry. You know, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-gun.
Right.
I'm this, I'm that, I'm small government.
Yep.
Well, what you know about the 10th Amendment? Nothing. Stop saying that. You don't even know nothing about it. You know. Now, I'll tell you this though. Then you got people like me. I'm not only pro-gun. I'm constitutional carry.
Right.
Hey, watch this. Whatever magazine that you want to hold, whatever rifle that you want to hold, that's your American right.
Right.
To hold that.
Yep. Exactly.
I don't have to talk to the government to say, can I please have a license to exercise my God-given right? Can I please have a license? No, I'm not going to be extorted. That's called extortion. That's what kind of pro-gun guy I am.
Yeah.
As far as pro-life, if we ban abortion, we won't have to do all the rest of the stuff.
Right.
There ain't no talking about it no more.
Yeah.
It's just all about being about it.
Yep.
So it's either you are or you're not, right?
Yep.
And then guess what else? Education.
Yep.
Education, but not on some let's teach the kids pretty flowers and butterflies and the boy can be a girl and the girl can be a boy. Now, I'm not that politician. I'm not that guy. You know, I'm the guy that says boys are not allowed in the girls' bathroom. Girls are not allowed in the boys' bathroom. Boys are not allowed in girls' sports.
Right.
You're taking away from the feminine qualities of a girl or a woman.
Yeah. Okay.
You're taking their scholarships away from them when you're beating them in wrestling. Come on, man.
It's just ridiculous. I know.
When you're on their come on.
Yeah.
Swim team.
Yeah.
Track.
Right.
You know, you're taking their scholarships away. You can't see that. You know, I'm that education guy. I'm the education guy that says that critical race theory, there is no room for that in the schools.
No, definitely not. Yeah, because it's
1619 project.
No,
there's no room for that in the schools.
Right, exactly.
There is actually a curriculum that the schools are supposed to abide by. I actually I actually have it.
Okay.
Wish I knew. Oh, yeah. All right. So this is the education guy that I am, right? IC 20-30-5, Chapter 5, mandatory curriculum. We actually have a mandatory curriculum written in our law. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, display of the United States flag, Pledge of Allegiance, that's in there. Teaching on constitutions, that's in there. Protected writings, documents, system of government, American history, that's in there. American history.
Right.
In its totality, American history, not emphasizing on my children. They're exempt from anything that talks about slavery. Now, and people ask me, well, that's weird. Why you do that? Because it's not the slavery I'm against. It's the emphasis on it.
All right.
You don't have to stay in slavery for a week.
Yep.
Pushing that down their throat.
Right. That's
not what this says.
No.
This paper right here, it doesn't say that.
No.
You know, now you were talking about pornography or sexuality and all of that. That's not in here.
Right. No, it shouldn't.
Now I would tell you this though, what is in here, instruction on human sexuality or sexually transmitted diseases, that's 20-30-5-13. Okay, that's grade 12.
That should
not grade 6.
No. Well, now they even pushed down to kindergarten, so I just
exactly. Well, that's outside of the curriculum now. The Indiana but I heard though that they allow the school boards to dictate that now. Now, what we have to do as citizens though is we have to start running for these offices though. If you want change, vote.
Yeah.
Sign up to be a delegate. Sign up to be a precinct committeeman. And sign up, and run for some of these offices. Right. I don't care what the office is. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Don't let somebody tell you that, oh, you're just, you woke up and want to be a senator. So, okay. You didn't do it. You've been doing this for 40 years and you barely running for a small office and barely can get that.
Yeah.
And you're going to say something about me running for a senator?
Exactly.
If you feel like the president ain't doing his job, who's to tell you you're not qualified?
Right.
You have the right, just as much right as that man or that woman to run for president.
Right. Well,
or senator or state senator or House district rep. You have just as much right.
What,
girl, boy, whatever. You have just as much right to get up and run for office.
Right.
Should nobody tell you any different.
Right. Well, for me, there is one, I cannot run for president because I was not born here. Other than that, I'm fine. Yeah. Well, like I have 2 kids. I mean, I like to make joke with them. Is my son was born in Canada, and my daughter was born here. So when they were young, we also say, okay, your sister can run for president, but you cannot. But you can run for the vice president.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's so nice talking with you.
You too.
Yeah, definitely I will pray for you, and
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And if there is anything I can do, let me know.
Well, I'll tell you this. We have a fundraiser coming up. It's called Call of the Patriots. I'll actually send you an email invite on that. Hopefully you can show and you can bring all your friends. This is our biggest fundraising event. We don't take money from big corporate interest groups. We do take money from local companies, local businesses, and obviously people, just normal everyday people, because I'm a people's candidate. I'm a freedom candidate. And so that means that I am bought and paid for by the people. The people are my interests. And that's who put me into office. And that's who's donating to my campaign. Yeah. So this fundraising event, Dr. Dan Stock is going to be one of the keynote speakers.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep. And then Pastor Micah Beckwith.
Yep.
Will be also a keynote speaker.
When is that?
So tickets are $100.
When is that?
It's February 21st.
Okay.
At Gathering Acres here in Lafayette, Indiana. Gathering Acres Event Center.
Okay.
Tickets are $100.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a catered food catered in.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Ooh.
rib tips, chicken, brisket, pork chops, mac and cheese, you know, salad, dinner rolls, green beans, all that good stuff. Kind of like a summer barbecue, you know what I mean? Right. Good friend of mine, he runs the local business because I'm a local business guy. It's called Boneheads Catering. You know, so yeah, it's definitely gonna be good speaking, good atmosphere.
Okay.
It's going to be very informative too, because Dr. Dan Stock, I asked him to actually do a presentation on how the federal government's overreach dictated our government, state government's response to the COVID outbreak, if you want to call it that, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Right. But so it's going to be very informative. Pastor Micah Beckwith, he's big on Constitution and biblical Constitution. Right. So you definitely don't want to miss it. We're encouraging all local companies to purchase a table, $800 for a table. You get name recognition. We'll call on you. You can bring your information about what business that you have. You can put it right there on the table. Free app, well, not free, but you know, free advertisement, you know what I mean? And then we'll call on you, stand up, you know, we'll introduce you to everyone there. We're looking to have at least 100 people there. So yeah, bring your friends, family, and come support Richard Bagsby, State Representative, District 41, and be a part of the war elephant herd.
Yes,
because we're trampling rhinos over.
I love that. I love that. Okay, well, nice talking with you. When I publish this, I'll put the information in the with this interview. So so the links and all that I can put on there.
Okay, and I'll send that out to you as soon as I get off of here.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Yeah, God bless.